Hey, welcome back for another word of advice video. And for today's video, I wanted to talk about the topic of correcting other people. Yes, I know this may sound like an interesting topic, not exactly dark or happy, it's just interesting. I wanted to talk about this because, number one, I'm kind of surprised now that I haven't mentioned it at all in the new series of my word of advice videos, and number two, we are all likely to reach a point where we will have to correct somebody. You know, all of us mess up and make mistakes, and as good friends and good acquaintances, you know, when we have the chance to correct somebody and remind them what the right thing is to do, we could be doing something really great, sending a great reminder to whoever it is about what the right thing is to do, and that can really have an impact on somebody else. But now I wanted to just talk about this whole deal about correcting people because, you know, some of you out there watching this may think to yourself, I have this one set way of correcting people and it's very firm, very strict, and then some of you out there watching this may be thinking, you know, I'm more on the gentle side. You know, you may not agree with my views on correcting other people, but I wanted to just give my advice when it comes to correcting other people, the way I have and in the way which I think is effective. And note, this is just one way. You may be thinking of another way besides my way, which could be effective as well when correcting other people. So obviously, when somebody steps out of line, and you know that what somebody did is wrong, you need to correct them. Remind them what the right thing is to do, and remind that person to try and not repeat that same mistake. I really believe that depending on what the mistake is, depends on how harsh we need to be with that person. For example, let's say that you're going hiking one day and let's say, for example, you might go down to Red River Gorge in Tennessee, where me and my friends went a few months ago. And, you know, you've been climbing all day and you finally made it to the top of just a huge, huge rock or whatever. Now up there, I mean, it's not the place to really horse around because, you know, if you were to take one wrong step and fall off the edge, well, you would fall and possibly be killed as a result. Let's say, for example, you and your friends were doing something like that, you know, maybe rock climbing or something, or just climbing a mountain or whatever, or a big rock or whatever. And then you know of a friend who is really starting to act out of line and act crazy once all of you reach the top. Well, since that is a very serious case, you know, that's the kind of example I'm thinking of where we need to be a little more harsh with people because, you know, if we don't remind people to do the right thing in a case like that, then if our friend keeps making the mistake over and over where they're just horsing around in a spot where if they make one wrong move, they could fall and really hurt themselves. You know, that's the kind of thing which could be life-threatening. And it could even rub off on other people as well, that kind of behavior is okay. And, you know, we don't want anyone to get seriously hurt or killed. So that would be an example where, at least with me, I would be more harsh with correcting people. You know, because we don't want anyone to hurt themselves, and we don't want that kind of behavior to rub off on other people. Now, let us say that you're working at a job, and this is an example of something which is more lightweight. You're working at a job, and then all of a sudden, the new guy comes in, and he's been told what to do, but he's still kind of figuring things out. You know, at first, if you're working with an employee and he doesn't know how to do everything just yet, if you see the employee doing something which isn't right, at first, you don't need to be incredibly harsh with that new employee, at least depending on what the job is too. But let's say it's at a job where the little mistake is not extremely critical. As an employee, you could kindly remind and correct that person, hey, I noticed that you're not doing this totally correct. Let me show you what the right way is, and then you can learn from this and do it the right way. That's an example of something, in my opinion, which is more lightweight, and you don't need to be as harsh when correcting somebody. I can think of plenty of other examples of times when we could either be much more lightweight or more harsh with people when it comes to correcting somebody. Yeah, people need correcting, and depending on the severity of the case where someone steps out of line, really depends, in my opinion, on how harsh or lightweight we need to be when it comes to correcting someone. Just never be afraid to correct somebody, though, if they're doing something wrong. And also, choose your words wisely. I know some of us, we may really like to correct others constantly. And it's good to correct people, but just choose your words wisely. Because if you choose the right words, then the person you're talking to could end up listening to you more if you're correcting someone in a very loving and mature way. And this is even when someone's stepping out of line big time. Yeah, I agree that there are times like that where we need to be harsh, but I would still, in that case, if someone was really acting out of line and I had to be harsh with someone, I would say, hey, you need to stop this now. You realize if you keep doing this that it could hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. I would be harsh in that case, but I would not say to somebody, you are an absolutely stupid human being, and I don't even see why, I can't even comprehend how dumb or smart you are, or whatever. I can't understand how someone would want to be that stupid. I'm kind of going off a little bit here. So I'm thinking of this a little bit on the spot today, but in the end, when it comes to correcting people as well, choose your words wisely, and be wise when you're choosing how harsh or lightweight you need to be when you are correcting someone. And I think in the end, if you choose your words wisely and you choose how lightweight or harsh you need to be when you correct someone, then you can be effective in correcting somebody and encouraging someone not to repeat the same mistake again, whatever that mistake may be. So with that, this is certainly all I had to talk about for this word of advice video, and I hope what I had to talk about in this video will come in handy for the future. And be sure to come back for another word of advice video.